10.
Brian Matthew, BBC Radio 2.
And side 2 of Sounds of the 60s. Band 1, Substitute by The Who. At number 5 in 1966, that was The Who's fourth consecutive top 10 hit. Further requests on this week's show will be for records by Jerry and the Pacemakers, Wilson Pickett, then 3 in a row by The Shadows, Barry Maguire and Neil Sedaka, all of those B-sides, by the way. And we shall end with one by the Rockin' Berries. But right now we have the follow-up by Neil Christian to his only hit, That's Nice. This was called Oops.
As I sat by the fire looking sleepy like an old tomcat. She meowed, I'd rather play a record if you can do better than that. But what about your mama and your papa coming in and finding us making love? She said, that's all right, they're out of sight, dancing at a discotheque club. All around the world, boy searches for a girl, somebody to love, 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 somebody to love. Whoop, she said, as I put my hand up to stroke her hair. Whoop, she said, wouldn't it be better if we slipped into a chair? Girl, I said, if the job's worth doing, then the job's worth doing right. So settle down, 'cause you've run aground and there ain't no help in sight. All around the world, a boy searches for a girl, somebody to love, 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 somebody to love. Faster, reaching 80 reps a minute like the clockwork toy gone wrong. Up, down, round, around, 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 and up, down. I can't take this for long. Girl, I'll never leave you. All I want to do is please you, 'cause I'll never have a love like this. And I'll swear I'll wear the memory of tonight for as long as I'll live. Yeah. All around the world, a boy searches for a girl, somebody to love, 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 somebody to love. Somebody to love, love, somebody to love, 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 somebody.
Neil Christian, whose band the Crusaders originally consisted of Elmer Twitch on piano, Tornado Evans on drums, with Richie Blackmore, later of Deep Purple, on guitar, and Bibby Blanche on bass. In the early 60s, Jimmy Page joined the group and toured with Christian for several months, playing on some of his early records. And now for your letter, Edwin Green, asking us to play Jerry and the Pacemakers' B-side, It's Happened to Me. Edwin says his grandmother, Jean Peters, worked at the Weymouth Pavilion in the 60s when Jerry's group appeared there, and her job entailed handing the groups their fees for performing. So here's that B-side, which can now be found on a recent 4-CD set called You'll Never Walk Alone, the EMI Years.
People tell me that you can't find love, or you'll never find your turtle dove. Don't believe a word of what they say, 'cause when I met you, my love, I knew it had happened to me. It's happened to me. You can tell by the way I walk, or even tell it when I talk, and I'm so proud it's plain to see. 'Cause when I met you, my love, I knew it had happened to me. It's happened to me. I don't mind telling everyone that I'm proud to say you're my only one. So if they tell you that you can't find love, or you'll never find your turtle dove, don't believe a word of what they say. 'Cause when I met you, my love, I knew it had happened to me. It's happened to me. So if they tell you that you can't find love, or you'll never find your turtle dove, don't believe a word of what they say. 'Cause when I met you, my love, I knew it had happened to me. It's happened to me. It's happened to me.
Jerry and the Pacemakers. And next, a nice story behind Roy Orbison's 9th UK Top 40 hit, issued in 1963 as a double A-side with Mean Woman Blues, and this was Blue Bayou. At this time, Orbison was asked to replace Duane Eddy on a UK tour with a relatively unknown group growing in popularity, the Beatles. And when Roy arrived in England and saw the advertising devoted to the quartet, he realised he wasn't topping the bill, but never having heard of them and annoyed at not being the main attraction, he asked, "What's a Beatle anyway?" This was overheard by John Lennon, who tapped Roy on the shoulder and answered, "I am."
I feel so bad, I've got a worried mind. I'm so lonesome all the time. Since I left my baby behind on Blue Bayou. Saving nickels, saving dimes, working till the sun don't shine. Looking forward to happier times on Blue Bayou. I'm going back someday, come what may, to Blue Bayou, where you sleep all day and the catfish play on Blue Bayou. All those fishing boats with their sails afloat, if I could only see that familiar sunrise through sleepy eyes, how happy I'd be. Oh, to see my baby again, and to be with some of my friends. Maybe I'd be happy then on Blue Bayou. I'm going back someday, gonna stay on Blue Bayou, where the folks are fine and the world is mine on Blue Bayou. Oh, that girl of mine by my side, the silver moon and the evening tide. Oh, some sweet day gonna take away this hurting inside. I'll never be blue, my dreams come true on Blue Bayou.
A UK number 3 for Roy Orbison in 1963, leading this week to the feature we call Song Swap, with a recording made by Johnny Tillotson. On his third MGM album, She Understands Me, he included Tom Springfield's song Island of Dreams, which had been on the Springfields' first single to break into the UK Top 10.
I wander the streets and the gay, crowded places, trying to forget you, but somehow it seems that my thoughts ever stray to our last sweet embraces over the sea on the island of dreams. High in the sky is a bird on the wing. Please carry me with you, far, far away from the mad rushing crowd. Please carry me with you again. I would wonder where memories enfold me over the sea on the island of dreams. High in the sky is a bird again I would wander where memories enfold me, over the sea, on the island of dreams, far, far away, on the island of dreams.
A cover of the Springfield's Island of Dreams from Johnny Tillotson's third album on MGM in under a year. So let's hear the Springfields themselves now with an unusual version of the folk song by Pete Seeger and Joe Hickerson, Where Have All the Flowers Gone? This was inspired by a phrase Seeger had noted himself in a 1934 novel by Mikhail Sholokhov, and Quiet Flows the Don. Where are the girls? They're all taken husbands. Where are the men? They're all in the army. This recording of the song is on a Springfield's imported German EP, Songs from the Hills, sung in German as Sag mir, wo die Blumen sind.
Sag mir, wo die Blumen sind, wo sind sie geblieben? Sag mir, wo die Blumen sind, was ist geschehen? Sag mir, wo die Blumen sind, Mädchen flüchten sie geschwind. Wann wird man je verstehen? Wann wird man je verstehen? Sag mir, wo die Mädchen sind, wo sind sie geblieben? Sag mir, wo die Mädchen sind, was ist geschehen? Sag mir, wo die Mädchen sind, Männer nahmen sie geschwind. Wann wird man je verstehen? Wann wird man je verstehen?
Sag mir, wo die Männer sind,
Wo sind sie geblieben?
sag mir, wo die Männer sind,
Was ist geschehen? Sag mir, wo die Männer sind, zogen fort, der Krieg beginnt. Wann wird man je verstehen? Wann wird man je verstehen?
sag, wo die Soldaten sind,
Wo sind sie geblieben?
sag, wo die Soldaten sind,
Was ist geschehen? Sag, wo die Soldaten sind. Über Gräben weht der Wind. Wann wird man je verstehen? Wann wird man je verstehen? Sag mir, wo die Gräber sind. Wo sind sie geblieben? Sag mir, wo die Gräber sind. Was ist geschehen? Sag mir, wo die Gräber sind.
Blumen blühen im Sommerwind.
Wann wird man je verstehen? Wann wird man je verstehen?
The Springfields' performance in German of Where Have All the Flowers Gone? And so to a hard-working British band that would have been found in the mid-60s playing nightly in several of London's most trendy clubs as the Majority. They'd initially been formed in Hull as the Mustangs, then becoming Barry Graham and the Mustangs, before settling on the Majority. This was their debut single written by John Carter and Jeff Stevens, voted a hit on Jukebox Jury, though it sold few copies outside of Hull, Pretty Little Girl.
What can
The Majority, who released several more singles, but none achieved the success they deserved. And that brings me to your email, Stan Kemp in Widnes, asking me to play a disc for your sister Marilyn Kemp, who's 60 today. Well, congratulations and many happy returns, Marilyn. I see that you loved going to the Mardi Gras Club in Liverpool, where Radio Merseyside's Billy Butler used to be a DJ. Bill was also a regular guest alongside Janice I'll Give It 5 Nichols in our teenage panel on Thank You Lucky Stars. However, the record your brother has asked us to play for you, Marilyn, is Wilson Pickett's 1966 international success, Mustang Sally.
Mustang Sally. Guess you better slow your Mustang down. Oh Lord, what I said now. Mustang Sally now, baby. Oh Lord, guess you better slow your Mustang down. Oh yeah. You've been running all over town now. Oh, I guess I have to put your flat feet on the ground. What I said now. Listen, all you wanna do is ride around Saturday. 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 One of these early mornings, wow, gonna be wiping your weeping eye. When I said that, look here, I bought you a brand new Mustang, a 1965. Now you come around signifying a woman you don't wanna let me ride. Mustang Sally now, baby. Oh Lord, guess you better slow that Mustang down. Oh Lord, look, you've been running all over town. Wow, got to put your flat feet on the ground. What I said now, let me say it one more time, y'all. Now all you wanna do is ride around.
Wilson Pickett's version of Mustang Sally, written by Bonnie Rice, who first recorded it himself as Sir Mac Rice, reaching number 15 in the US R&B charts. Now, before our three in a row this week, we get to hear a disc by the Capris that only just qualifies for Sounds of the 60s. First released in the States in 1959, when it completely failed to make any impact, but copies on the original Planet label now fetch around £1,000 at auction. The single was reissued at the end of 1960 on the Old Town label and became a hit at the beginning of 1961, when There's a Moon Out Tonight got to number 3 in the US.
There's a moon out tonight. Let's go strolling. There's a girl in my heart whose heart I've stolen. There's a moon out tonight. Let's go strolling through the park. There's a glow in my heart I never felt before. There's a girl at my side that I adore. There's a glow in
1961 hit by the Capris, leading us to 3 in a row, which this week were all B-sides, suggested by Bob Woodhead, who thinks they were all good enough to have been A-sides anyway, and are all by artists touring this country during 2009. First, The Shadows' 1963 recording of The Breeze and I, based on Ernesto Lecuona's Spanish song Andalucia, recorded by Jimmy Dorsey and his orchestra with a vocal by Bob Eberly. Then Barry Maguire with Upon a Painted Ocean from the B-side of Child of Our Times. And finally, Neil Sedaka's One Way Ticket from the flip of O Carol, issued in 1959 but still in the charts in 1960.
Help wake up the sleepy and quiet the ravens of cardboard cowards who'd have you feel like they do. But look at what they've turned the world into. So come on, let's sail upon a painted ocean. Captain said the wheels of love are spinning. All those who are losers soon will be winning a place in the sun. Upon a painted ocean. I let your hair hang down till it rolls on the ground. You won't be needing your mask for where we are bound. And for those who place tradition on pedestals, we'll be chained to the docks and be ridiculed. And come on, let's sail upon a painted ocean. Captain said the wheels of love are spinning. All those who are losers soon will be winning a place in the sun upon a painted ocean. ghettos of our own mistakes. And until enough people become aware, then we'll stop standing still and start going somewhere. So come on, let's sail upon a painted ocean. Captain said the wheels of love are spinning. For those who are losers, soon we'll be winning a place in the sun upon a painted ocean. I said, come on, let's sail upon a painted ocean. Captain said the wheels of love are spinning. For those who are losers, soon we'll be winning a place in the sun upon a painted ocean.
Choo-choo train a-chugging down the track. Gotta travel on, never coming back. Oh, got a one-way ticket to the blues. Bye-bye, love, my baby's leaving me. Now lonely teardrops are all that I can see. Oh, got a one-way ticket to the blues. I'm gonna take a trip to Lonesome Town. Gonna set Heartbreak Hotel. A fool such as there never was. I cried a tear so well. Choo-choo train a-chugging down the track. Gotta travel on, never coming back. Oh, got a one-way ticket to the blues. Oh, got a one-way ticket to the blues. I'm gonna take a trip to Lonesome Town. Gonna set Heartbreak Hotel. A fool such as there never was. I cried a tear so well. Choo-choo train a-chugging down the track. Gotta travel on, never coming back. Oh, got a one-way ticket to the blues. Oh, got a one-way ticket to the blues. Oh, got a one-way ticket to the blues.
Sunday afternoons on BBC Radio 2.
Classic 70s tracks from both sides of the Atlantic.
And it's Paul O'Grady on your wireless.
And tune in to find out how you could win the chance to see Jersey Boys on Broadway. You're going to meet one of the original Four Seasons and you'll appear on stage with the cast.
Paul O'Grady on Sunday afternoons from 5.
Johnny Walker's Sounds of the 70s from 3.
And kicking off from 1 o'clock.
Sunday afternoons on BBC Radio 2.
Spread your wings for New Orleans, Kentucky bluebird, fly away and take a message to Martha, message to Martha. She sings each night in some cafe in her search to find wealth and fame. I hear Martha has gone and changed her name. It's a year since she was here. Kentucky bluebird, fly away and take a message to Martha, message to Martha.
soon be coming back. Oh, tell her how my heart just breaks into since she journeyed far. And even though her dreams of fame fall through, to me she will always be a star. Spread your wings for New Orleans, Kentucky bluebird, fly away and take a message to Martha, message to Martha. Tell her to start for home today. When you find her, please let her know, rich or poor, I will always love her so. Fly away, Kentucky bluebird, fly away, Kentucky bluebird.
A Bacharach and David song originally recorded in the States by Lou Johnson, of whose version that was a 1964 cover by Adam Faith as his final top 20 hit. A female version was also recorded by Dionne Warwick as Message to Michael against Bacharach and David's wishes, but they liked her performance so much they admitted they'd probably subconsciously written it for her in the first place anyway. But let's move on now to a disc buyer, Michael Cox, whose biggest hit had been Angela Jones, produced by Joe Meek. Then in '62, he produced Michael with a cover of Carl Perkins' recording of Mel Tillis's composition, Honey, 'Cause I Love You.
Well, let me build my dreams around you, hoping that they'll come true. Yeah, I can't live my life without you. Life would be so blue. Yeah, yeah. Well, I wanna be your heart's caretaker, that's what I wanna be. You don't have to worry about any heartbreakers, long as you're with me. Yeah, well, I get that funny feeling when I'm out with you. You know, I was kinda hoping that maybe you'd get a funny feeling too. Well, wish that I could be your shadow everywhere you go. Yeah, I could always tag along, 'cause honey, I love you so. Yeah. Well, I get that funny feeling when I'm out with you. You know, I was kinda hoping that maybe you'd get a funny feeling too. Well, wish that I could be your shadow everywhere you go. Yeah, I could always tag along, 'cause honey, I love you so. Yeah.
A record made in 1962 by Michael Cox. Composer Mel Tillis went on to write Detroit City, a hit for Tom Jones, and Ruby Don't Take Your Love to Town by Kenny Rogers in the first edition. And so to a disc by the Jimi Hendrix Experience, who first issued this as a top 20 UK single in '67, then included it on their final studio album, Electric Ladyland. The sound engineer revealed that the backing vocals were by Cissy Houston and the Sweet Inspiration, and Hendrix himself once claimed this to be the best track he ever recorded, Burning of the Midnight Lamp. Jimi Hendrix Experience, leading us to this week's final request from Alan Jocelyn, who says that back in the 60s he used to go to the Capri coffee bar in Southend, which was a mod hangout. A record regularly played on the jukebox was called something like They Put the Last Clean Shirt on My Poor Brother Bill, and he thinks it was by the Rockin' Berries. Out of place, he says, alongside the Animals, John Lee Hooker and Dylan, but a great favourite of everyone. Well, Jocelyn, it was indeed by the Rockin' Berries on the B-side of their lesser hit, You're My Girl, and actually called Brother Bill, The Last Clean Shirt. And here it is for any friends of those days now reaching their 60s, especially Ken Willingale and Dave Hannington.
From dust I was taken, and unto dust I shall return. Ashes to ashes, dust to dust. Well, holy mackerel.
Some people said it was whiskey, some people said it was gin, but I don't want a girl and a policy man that's my brother in. They put the last clean shirt on my poor brother Bill. They put the last clean shirt on my poor brother Bill. We found him in the backseat of an old abandoned Ford. When I touched the hand of my brother Bill, he was stiff as the running boat. They put the last clean shirt on my poor brother Bill. They put the last clean shirt on my poor brother Bill. Well, the preacher said he's gone. He's gone to a better world. He done fought his last fight. He done loved his last girl. Had the last clean shirt. Oh, my poor brother Bill. They put the last clean shirt. Oh, my poor brother Bill. Wow, yeah, please come. Come on, baby. He's dead, of course. Wow, Lord, baby, now. Oh, he's gone to a better land. Wow, heaven, please, will help him now, my child. You name it, I'll play it. Wow! It's finished, please. Time to go home, gentlemen. Okay? It's time's up.
A Rockin' Berries B-side from 1965, bringing us to our final record this week by Jack Jones from his album My Kind of Town, recorded between 1962 and 1965, using 3 different arrangers, including Marty Paish, who was responsible for this track, Travelin' On.
around and I stayed around this old town too long. Summer's almost gone, yep, winter's coming on. Well, I laid around and I stayed around this old town too long, and I feel like I gotta travel on. Oh, there's a lonesome freight at 608 coming through the town. I'll be homeward bound, yep, I'll be homeward bound. Oh, there's a lonesome freight at 608 coming through the town, and I feel like I gotta travel on. Waited here for most a year for the sun to shine, waiting for the sun to shine, hoping you'll change your mind. Waited here for most a year for the sun to shine. Now I feel like I got to travel on. Chilly winds will soon begin, but I'll be on my way. Gone the lonesome day, gone the lonesome day. Chilly winds will soon begin, but I'll be on my way. And I feel like I gotta travel on. Whoa, I feel like I got to travel on. Laid around this old town too long. Summer's almost gone. I said, yep, summer's almost gone. Laid around, stayed around this old town too long, and I feel like I gotta travel on. Whoa, 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 I feel like I got to travel on. Oh Lord, I feel like I gotta travel on.
Jack Jones with a track from one of his most successful albums in America and around the world. It brings us to the end of another edition of Sounds of the 60s, compiled and produced by Phil the Collector Swern. And this is your old mate by Matthew saying that's a lot for this week. See you next week. Jonathan Ross follows the news. This is BBC Radio 2, online, on digital, and on 88 to 91 FM.